It's time for another edition of For Your Money, and the folks from 121 Financial Credit Union are here. We hear about scams all the time, crooks targeting people by phone, by mail, and sometimes in person. The elderly are more likely to become victims of fraud, but there's some way to protect yourself and the ones you love. Joining me now, Larry Rouse, the Director of Information Systems. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you being here. So the elderly are pretty vulnerable. How can they protect themselves, and what can family members do to protect them?
Well, I think to protect the elderly, one of the most important things that people can do is be involved. Visit them, talk to them, find out what's going on in their lives, because a senior citizen that has a close circle of friends and family around them is much less likely to be victimized than someone who doesn't.
And what kind of scams do we hear that the elderly tend to fall for more often than not?
Well, probably the two most common are telephone scams and home repair scams. The elderly are very accustomed to doing business over the phone, so they tend to trust it, and the scammers know this and they take advantage of it.
So talk to us about these home repair scams. What do we often see as a red flag there?
Well, the key to it really is that the scammer will show up and insist that the repair has got to be done immediately, and if it's not done immediately, some dire consequence is going to happen. The idea is to put pressure on the person and intimidate them to agreeing to doing the repair without getting it checked out.
So we do have some tips on the screen right now, and one of them is don't trust caller ID. Why is that?
Well, back in the day, to set up a phone center was a big undertaking. Now you can have a phone line anywhere you've got internet, and that guy could be sitting in a coffee shop in Minsk just as easily as he could be here in Jacksonville, and they can actually manipulate the caller ID to say anything that they want it to say, so you simply can't trust it.
Another tip that you have is never agree to a repair without more than one estimate.
Yeah, that's absolutely critical. Very often these guys will come up and say, oh, I noticed this problem with your house and we've got to fix it. And if the person agrees to it, they give them the money and the money's gone. It's much better to say, oh, I'm going to have a contractor that I work with check this out beforehand. There shouldn't be any hurry.
And just briefly, another tip that we have is there's no such thing as a risk-free investment.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And anytime an investment advisor comes up and says that I've got this new system, I've got this new product, this is going to be a high return, low risk investment, that should set off a red flag in your mind, because there's really no such thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate the information, and hopefully everyone can check out some more information about all of this. If you want some more information about keeping your money safe, you can check out 121 Financial Credit Union online. You can just go to their website at 121fcu.org.